Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
One of these times I'm just gonna freestyle.
Okay.
Don't.
Not today though.
Don't
But
do
until
that
then, make sure you brush your hair.
Brush your teeth.
Uh-huh.
And wipe your ass.
Yes, sir.
Paid. Yo, it's me.
I'm gonna need that. Back. Hey, yo.
Oh. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Gross.
Yo.
Welcome
Yo.
back.
We back.
This is the XenHouse Podcast. We're here for episode 2.
Deuce.
We back.
Yes, sir.
How we doing, fellas? We good?
Everything is good. We here. We're alive. We're well.
We back at it. We healthy.
That's it.
We here. A lot of we here's. We say that a lot.
Talk to him, Des. What we talking about today?
We might have to make that a sound. So today we're gonna talk about the process of XenHouse. Some people outside looking in, they just seen us appear out of nowhere, but there's a lot of work that went into what we are doing today.
And we realize how tough it is to be a business owner and how easy it is to give up.
So easy.
But clearly we didn't.
Shout out to everyone who is a business owner or in that process that made that leap of faith. God bless.
And shout out to everyone who tuned in for episode 1.
Okay.
We appreciate y'all.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Please spread the word. Send it to everyone else in your family, your friends, your crew, and
Like-
bring them on in.
Like and share, man. Come on.
Oh, we can't forget those that help us get to this spot at XenHouse.
That's a fact.
Those that help teach us some little things that are behind the scenes.
We're gonna shout them out. We're gonna show them some love
We got,
as we
we got
tell
a
them.
bunch of shout outs. So it wasn't just us. We had help from a lot of people.
Ton of help.
And we can't thank y'all enough because this right here is a dream come true and wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for y'all.
That's a fact. So where do we start, fellas? Everyone knows our story for the most part, how we all know each other from when we were little kids, young kids. I would say we are like-minded for the most
Very.
part,
Yeah.
except for when Alex gets radical.
Yeah,
That's
that's for another day.
That's
for
another day. You guys don't know that, but we're like-minded. We're I want to say at least decent human beings. We're decent. Yo.
That's another one right there. He just went past. Cody Nazardo, shout out.
Shout out to Cody.
Cody Nazardo got us this spot.
Yes,
Shout out
sir.
to Cody. He hasn't been in the train in a while, but
That's it.
it's okay.
Yeah,
He
he
showed
looked
love.
pregnant.
Well, Cody got about 7 kids.
Yeah.
Okay, he get a pass for
Yeah,
now.
he got a pass for now.
But
No disrespect, Christina.
no offense.
No offense.
But yeah, we're like-minded. We're great people. I feel off saying that like about myself, even though it's true.
No, it's true.
People told me
I
I'm
I think
pretty-
based off of the things that we've done along the way, right?
Yeah.
You can definitely say that about yourself.
Okay.
You
I don't
can
feel
say
bad.
that, but you can also say you're a real McAsshole sometimes.
No, I'm not that type of a person.
Okay.
Wow.
And I'm white.
Oh,
Oh,
here
gonna
it
go
comes
there.
radical.
That's radical.
Sorry, that's
That's
radical.
okay.
Sorry.
You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I got a little snippet of the radical.
You see?
I'm gonna take that back. Don't quote me on that, y'all.
Yeah, you quoted.
Damn.
So yeah, we got together and we knew that we wanted to do something together where we worked for ourselves and we did it our way.
Yeah, and wanted to make a difference, right? And wanted to create our own philosophy, and we have our own beliefs and stuff like that. So that was the beginning of it, right?
Yep, that's how it all started.
And
Just
basically
with an idea.
figuring out when, where, how, all that was very tough to kind of put all together. So we're kind of all over the place. And, Des organically met with our business partner, the fourth business partner, Rich Rodriguez.
I'm the mastermind. It's me. So, like I said,
Oh my gosh.
Basically,
Got cut
shout
off
out-
again.
shout
Shout out to Desmond Hines, aka Noriega, cutting off people.
I wasn't even gonna say. First of all, that's messed up.
That is crazy. That's crazy.
It's all right. Keep going, big fella.
That's crazy.
What I was gonna say was how it all got started. Pretty much, we were working somewhere, and we just knew we wanted to do our own thing. We weren't happy, so we organically met with a guy named Richard Rodriguez.
Yeah, but before, I think you're kind of jumping ship a
Oh,
little
I'm
bit.
jumping. My
But
bad.
before then, you got to tell the people how
Oh.
many people we actually met with, because I think, like,
People
you
gotta
know, based off
understand.
of what you're saying, someone might think, oh,
It was
Just
just
the
that
first
one
person.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. It was
We met with a few people.
a lot.
Yeah,
A
so there were people that were interested in our, you know, our skill set and our personality that could see a future with.
Mhm.
And there's a few people that approached us and we met with, and you know, there's some people off the bat we realized wasn't a good match for us. There's some people that, you know, a little bit of time went on and we realized wasn't a good match. But there was a lot of sit downs. There were a lot of
Meets and greets and
and
phone calls and
notes.
Yeah, a lot of notes.
But energy, it says a lot about a person. Your energy is, when people talk about energy,
Big time.
that's
Vibes.
one thing that we can really sense.
Vibes, energy, all of that stuff. My dad always told me promises only comfort fools. So you could promise me everything, but that don't mean nothing to me.
That's
until,
a fact.
You know, it's put into action.
So yeah, back on ship with the process. You know, Rich came along and, you know, got in contact with Dez, and Ross and I were in the process to become firemen. Fire department, and Dez was hating.
I was hating because, you know, Ross and Alex was doing something, right? I was hating. So what made me hate the most is because people would be like, oh, Ross and Alex is doing this. Oh, I know Dez isn't. He has long hair. He's not a firefighter.
Wow.
Okay.
Judgy.
Okay.
They were being
judging.
Judgy.
Wow.
Because I have locks. I can't be a firefighter, huh? Okay.
Technically, no. That shit will burn.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could. You just got to be cautious. But
I didn't want to be a firefighter anyway.
Yeah, asthmatic anyways, too. So the smoke would have been. All right, let's not go there. We're drifting off again. We're drifting off again. But as we said, Richard Rodriguez came in. We had a great conversation, Des and Rich, and Des brought us on, obviously, because he wasn't doing it by himself.
It's me.
It's not you. It's a collective unit here.
Well, I'm going to cut you off again. I talked to Rich, and Rich basically was saying, Des, I like your vibes. Let's do something. Me, knowing these two dudes, I'm like, I could do something, but we could do something better.
Yeah. Create something unique. Create something
greater than just us. Than Rich and I, as all of us. So I got these dudes we all came together and we made something special.
Yeah.
So once they were on board, we started the process. What was the first thing?
I think the the first meeting says a lot about any individual.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can meet someone and right off the bat from the handshake,
eye contact,
you know, like
tone of the voice,
demeanor, posture. He was just like, it just felt like it was going to be, you know, something great. And we sat down, I don't know for how many hours we spoke, but we spoke about life, family,
things that didn't relate to this, but it did,
you know, and that was important. That was important for us, you know, like we all have growing families. Dad's a little bit slower than everybody else, but it's happening. Alex got about 10 kids. No offense, Anna. But it's happening. So like that stuff was super important for us. And after that day, I think we all just kind of looked at each other without even saying anything. It was just like,
it's a good fit.
This is it. This is that leap of faith.
Mm-hmm.
And when your circle's strong, you don't question anything, especially when you have faith in God and your team.
That's it.
And this is where we are now, you know, from meeting with Rich and then finally talking about a name.
Before that, there's at least a couple years that passed by.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Where we were just flowing ideas, and it's really hard to have set ideas when you don't have a name. You need a name.
Before we get going, I'm gonna cut you off.
Yeah. Nori.
Pull a fast one on your ass now. This process took about 6 to 7 years.
Total, if we're going back to just
When we first decided
like
we're gonna plan this,
we need to work for ourselves. I would say it even goes back farther because I know I had dreams of owning my own business from early. I didn't know what exactly, but the idea was there, and we always talked about it.
In regards
but we didn't know
to
exactly
running a facility like this, I think it was maybe 6, 7, maybe 8 years.
Yeah, started off as a joke.
Yeah,
and then
most people don't even know it's possible. Like it's not even it's not even a thought because you don't know anybody who's doing it, or you're just not exposed to it.
Right.
But
so yeah, 6, 7 years, and then I would say 2019, like late 2019. Then COVID hitting.
Streets. Shout out the streets.
Yeah, shout out to my dog. But like we were saying, right? Like COVID hit 2020.
Yeah.
It wasn't great for a lot of people, but I think we took a leap of faith, and it was great for us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
blessing in disguise.
A lot of opportunities came about, during COVID. It gave us some time to actually sit down, reflect, and say, okay, like we could actually do this.
We could do this.
It kind of put the fire under our butt too,
Mm-hmm.
because as Ross said, people's families were growing. So
yes, I had children.
It was time to.
I had to make choices.
Right.
Choices that most people don't understand. We're gonna go off topic for a second. All right. This is where Radical Alex comes in.
Uh-oh.
All right. You got to get uncomfortable to be comfortable.
Whoa.
Later on in life.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Listen. I'm gonna say it again.
You're not listening.
You got to get uncomfortable to be comfortable later on in life.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
For right now, it's going to be tough, and we did the tough stuff. So right now, we're going through the tough stuff. We're going to continue to go through it until we set ourselves up to where we want to be.
So I'm gonna ask you guys a couple questions. What was the hardest part of this whole thing so far? What would you say?
Purchasing a home and then going into a business and being pregnant at the same time.
Oh my gosh.
Hold on. Y'all didn't listen.
They're not listening, yo.
So no job, COVID. Whoa. Just purchased a home. Oh my gosh. And Yolanda Bertrand was pregnant. Oh.
At the same time.
At the same damn time.
That happens just like that.
What would you say was the hardest thing so far out of everything?
I would agree with Ross. I got engaged, found out we're having a baby.
Whoa.
Married, left our last job,
Whoa.
started this, went through COVID with the baby, all within 2 years. So when I say faith, if it wasn't for faith, we wouldn't be here right now. If it wasn't for my wife, Anna Joseph, holding it down when I had no job like Tommy from Martin. Listen, I love you, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Hold it down.
P.O.P.
P.O.P. That's how it works, man. You got to have faith, but you
gotta have faith in family.
There's certain situations where you got to put yourself in order to grow. And unfortunately, that's the only way to grow. And
that's a
fact. Where we're at. So I would say, just like Ross said, all that happening at one time and running this and all that was tough.
Yeah.
I'm still managing it now, but yeah. What do you think?
What about you, Des?
I would say the hardest thing would be more so the actual process of getting this building and getting one signature that we needed to start building. The reason I picked that and not the other things, like people think it's just, all right, I got an idea, start a business, it gets going. No, you need a business plan first and foremost. And shout out to Meg. Meg, she owns Rev'd.
Rev'd in Boston. If you're a cyclist and you're in Boston, get over there.
Shout out to Meg.
Big shout out. Meg was one of the first people to even hear us out
and believed in us.
And believed in us.
To do it. No
And
questions asked.
She helped us a ton. She helped with our business plan, and she told us that, that was one of the most important things to a business. And you don't realize, you think like some words on a piece of paper, like that's not important. But when your business is moving in so many different directions, where we training adults, we're training athletes, we're training all walks of life, you have to stick to what your bread and butter is.
Yep.
And if you don't stick to, you got to look back at that business plan and you got to stick to it. And then that's how your business is formed, and people don't know that. So shout out to Meg. She helped us see that. So that stuff, I wouldn't say it was easy, but we had help.
We had help.
And
that's
things
the help we're talking
I
about.
weren't good at, Alex is good at. Things Alex wasn't good at, Ross. And Rich, can't forget Rich.
It's a collective unit that we work together.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, and we're all not perfect, but each of us are good at something, like Des said.
Yeah.
And we all put that together in order to
shout out to Danny.
Shout out to Danny, man.
Shout out to Danny. Brick House in the building, owner of Brick House. He better read the sign. Better stay in that room. Don't come in here. Go upside his head and get a free bottle.
But yeah, the hardest thing would be, like I said, getting this building. We waited 8 months
just for
one signature to start construction, right? There was a lot of these dudes are crazy. Distracted. There was a lot of moving parts with the signature, but boys, real quick, can you explain how we ended up getting that signature? Pressure.
Oh my goodness.
There was a lot of pressure. Yeah, like Alex said, we made a lot of phone calls. I think it got to the point where after at least 7 months, we just got tired of waiting. So we started applying pressure.
A lot of pressure.
Never be afraid to apply pressure sometimes.
That and it's not about what you know.
It's who you know.
Who you know. Remember that too.
We're not gonna go into specifics about exactly who he was, because I don't know if he wants to be mentioned on this. But we ran into him, and we asked him what was the best way to go about getting in contact with this person who had to sign off on that permit. And he said he would get into contact with them, and he had Alex's number, he had Ross Bertrand's number. We didn't hear from him for at least about 2 weeks, right?
Maybe
Alex?
2 or 3 weeks, and he just randomly called.
And I think no. So before he even called, I shot him a text message. Then we ran down to the government center.
Yep. Yeah, we went. The government center was closed, by the way. This is during COVID.
During COVID.
So you had to make an appointment in order to get out there and talk to anyone. So it was.
So trying to make an appointment was terrible. Impossible.
During COVID, not happening.
Not happening. Like every time you called, the phone just kept ringing and ringing and ringing. So one day, Alex and I said, you know what?
We're just gonna roll up.
We're going to roll up. And there was no access to go upstairs. So you know what we did? We parked our butts on that round table, and we waited.
Was waiting for you at the door.
At the door.
No games,
and not even playing.
We didn't even know who we were waiting for.
You don't know what he looked like. There's no pictures.
There's no
nothing.
photos. And nothing.
And then we saw a face, and we both said,
Yo.
And he didn't even understand why we needed him, but we knew.
Yep. And then he got the picture.
And you know who else knew? God did.
Yeah. Side note, real quick, for those who don't understand this, you can go to school for 10 years. You can you could be pre-med. You could get your master's. You could get your undergrad degree. You could go get multiple degrees, right? You can know it all. But if you don't know someone, it means nothing.
That's absolutely true. So I think Alex and I probably waited, 2.5 hours.
Sitting there.
Just sitting, right?
Phone's almost dead.
You don't know who, you know what I mean? And so once we finally saw this person that we needed to speak to, we ran down a checklist of what we needed to do. And he's like, oh, I know him. This is an idea, guys. This is when the light flashes on right here. He said, oh, I know him. So we were chatting back and forth, boom, 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 right? And based off of what he's told us before about reaching out, you know, like we were still 50-50. You know what I'm saying? We were still 50-50. So I think Alex had something come up with Laney, and
Shout out to my firstborn.
shout out to Laney. And I probably waited another like hour and a half and just sat there and trying to see if anything was moving. You know, like he told us he would reach out within the next 24, but I was like, maybe he could reach out within the next 90.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? 90 minutes.
Applied pressure.
Applied a lot of pressure. So, you know, as he's coming down from his meeting, he still saw me there. So he's like, all right.
They're not playing.
These guys are not playing. You know what I mean? Because we had a timeline and we had already, you know, like past our timeline.
The XenHouse was supposed to be open a year in advance.
So like it was pushed back again. COVID. So like, you know, he was leaving and I spoke to him once again and I was just like, listen, we need this really bad. He said, okay, I will call you tomorrow. So tomorrow comes, I don't hear nothing from him. Then I'm pretty sure it was a Friday, Alex.
It was a Friday. Right before the guy that's supposed to sign left the building.
He calls me. I don't pick up. Ross Bertrand is training.
Trash.
He calls Alex.
Pick that phone up fast.
Alex Joseph picks up.
While training.
Yeah, you know,
I had his number saved, so I had to pick that up.
Everybody a little different.
Alex
Joseph picks up, right? Alex is like, okay. Boom. Alex sends us a quick text. He's like, this person is about to reach out, Ross. Do not miss this phone call. And I said, absolutely. He calls me back and he's like, all right, I have the folder right here. It's XenHouse, right? And I said, yes. And he's like, what do you need me to do? I'm like, he just needs to sign the permit papers. That's it. And of course, the guy that we're waiting for 8 months is in the back. Oh yeah, like it was the third folder underneath what I needed to do today.
Okay.
Yeah. 8 months later,
hit the button. Trash.
So, 8 months to look at the third paper underneath.
He was fronting, but our guy pulled through.
Made it happen.
And he made it happen.
Shout out to you.
Shout outs to you. We appreciate you. You don't even know what you did for us because who knows how much longer that would have went. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like
everything happens when it was supposed to happen.
Everything happened when it was supposed to happen.
We can't forget about the location where we trained at.